Hi everyone, it's Mindy Eggen for Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine, and today I'm sharing some of my favorite fast card making hacks and tips that help streamline my process and make creating more enjoyable and less overwhelming. I'll walk you through each tip step by step as I build this card so you can see exactly how I save time without sacrificing detail and creativity. So, the first one right off the gate that I want to share with you is placing all of my die cuts in a craft stacks from Spellbinders. So, I have everything die cut out to create this adorable bunny holding a bouquet of flowers. And something else that kind of goes along with this, I'm calling this my fast hack number two, is using a pickup tool and also my reverse tweezers, especially helpful when working with small pieces. Now, this die set is called Bunny Buddies. It is from Spellbinders by Simon Hurley. So I have everything die cut out using a mix of Concord and Ninth and Spellbinders cardstock. I started out with creating my little bouquet. I die cut it out of a light green cardstock and I'm placing some small purple flowers over the top. This die set does also include a centerpiece, but I'm going to include that in another fast hack a little later on in this video. I placed a dot of liquid glue on each of the areas for the blooms and then used my pickup tool to pick up those small flowers and place them down over the dot of glue. Before I assemble my little bunny, I want to add a little shading to it. So I am going to be bringing out Pebble ink and a detail blending brush from Alt New, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading underneath the chin, so kind of at the bottom of the head, just to give it a little separation from the body. And then I'm also going to place some of that ink on the side of the body as well. And I'm just going to put that on the left hand side. I kind of look at this as my coloring and where the shading would go. So because my bunny is facing to the right, I figured I'd have the shadow area on the left-hand side. There's a little area on the body where you can add some liquid glue and then your head just overlaps right over the top. A lot of times I am working on a glass surface, which is a quick cleanup when you are doing ink blending. But I find when I am gluing die cuts together or sentiments, I find that taking out a type of silicone mat really helps because sometimes the glue gets stuck down to the glass mat and it's a little harder to clean up that glue. So the silicone mat is protecting my glass work surface and cleans up a lot easier of any of that excess glue than my glass mat does. And depending on the size of the die cut and what I'm working with, you can see I alternate a lot between my pickup tool and also my reverse tweezers. The reverse tweezers I use almost in every card project that I do because it keeps my hands and fingernails out of the way and allows me to really see the full project and where I am placing my die cut pieces. The craft stack I kept off on the side, and that is housing my really small pieces like these cheeks, because there is a die that can cut out the cheeks. So I keep them in there so I don't lose them on my desk or possibly pick up with the sleeve on my shirt. I'm finishing up my little bunny by placing a dot of glue there to hold the bouquet of flowers. And then there's a little paw that wraps around that I'm placing over the top. One extra thing I did, which I really don't consider a fast card making hack, but it is kind of a nice fun tip, is I am adding some stability and also cleaning up the back of my bunny by placing another set of die cut pieces behind. Now, I know no one is going to really see this because it's going to be attached to my card front, but I feel it just is a little more even when I go to attach it to the card front. So that's just kind of a bonus tip that I like to do. Now that I'm finished with my die cut, I just spritz a little bit of rubbing alcohol onto my silicone mat, wipe it up with a paper towel, and it cleans up super easy. For the background, I am going to be using the color layering Meadow Blooms stencil from Hero Arts. There is also a matching die cutting plate, but I'm just going to be using the stencil for now. And this is my next fast hack that I have for you is when you are going to be using stencils, it does come in really handy to have some sort of sticky mat. I'm using the 9 by 12 sticky mat from Alt New, and this is great for not only holding my cardstock in place, but also placing my stencil over the top, and then the grip mat is going to hold that stencil there. The next hack I have for you, so it's kind of a two for one almost, is using these alignment guides. These are meant for the stamp wheel, but come in really handy when your stencil is larger than the piece of cardstock that you're using. So you can place these guides in opposite corners, and that way the next layer of the stencils will be able to be aligned perfectly each time. Another fast hack that I think comes in really helpful, especially if you're kind of in a creative rut, is doing a tone on tone ink blending. So I have kind of this light peachy colored cardstock, and I picked a color that is similar in my stash. This happens to be Peach Bellini from Gina K Designs. So I removed the first layer of the stencil. I'm placing the second one over the top, aligning the corners with those guides. Because typically, Hero Arts stencils do have those registration squares in the corners. But because I don't have this stencil over cardstock, that would be really hard for me to line up exactly each time. So that is why those center alignment guides in the corners really come in handy. I'm going to be keeping the pressure of my blending brush fairly light-handed. I don't want this color to be very overpowering, and I don't want it to be really heavy-handed. I really wanted something subtle in the background, but was also really springy. So you can see how it's coming together. It's nice and subtle in there, and it's just going to fit perfectly with my cute little bunny that is holding the little bouquet of flowers. I also chose this color because it's not going to compete with the purple flowers that I picked for my bunny. My background is done, so I can peel away the stencil and remove this from the sticky mat. And you could use this card as is, using the full A2 size card front. But another hack I have for you is using some sort of infinity die, whether it's a rectangle infinity die or one of the Master Layout series. This happens to be Master Layouts 2 from Gina K Designs. It's going to allow me to choose what area of the background that I want to die cut out, and it's also going to give me these really nice crisp lines. They're even, and it also has kind of a beveled edge to it. So it's super clean and professional looking. The next hack I have for you here, especially when you are choosing a color for your sentiment, is having some ink swatches, because ink swatches, you're able to just quickly pull out a small swatch of color, and that'll help you look through what's going to look best with your card front. Once I landed out a color, I picked out my paper sleeve that stores that particular color, which is sorbet. And here is another fast hack for you. This is something I've been doing recently, where in my paper storage sleeve, I'm keeping my scraps in a storage pocket that I use for my stamp sets. So this would fit like a 4x6 stamp set. And that way I don't have to go digging into that huge pouch. I can just quickly look through, see what size of scrap I have that would fit my sentiment, and quickly put that back in my storage pocket. I'm going to be heat embossing this sentiment on the sorbet cardstock. So I want to do white heat embossing or white embossing powder. So all of these steps are fairly typical. You would prep your cardstock with an anti-static powder tool. You would also condition the stamp so it takes ink really well. But my hack that I almost always do when I'm white heat embossing is inking up the stamp with white pigment ink. You can absolutely use a Versamark or any type of clear embossing ink, but when I am doing white heat embossing, I find I get cleaner and crisper results when I am using white pigment ink with my white embossing powder. It just seems to really fill it in. So I gently stamp that down twice. And then I'm going to sprinkle on my white embossing powder. Now, when I do this, I hold my cardstock fairly flat. I kind of shake it or tap it a little bit to really let the fine details of the embossing powder settle into that ink. And then I can tip it and dump off the excess back into the jar. I'm going to make sure that my heat tool is nice and warmed up. It's a good time to warm up my fingers if it happens to be cold outside. And then I'm going to just quickly go over the back of the panel and then bring it over to the front and melt the embossing powder. Giving it just a quick swipe in the back just seems to really help clean up the design. The next fast hack that I have for you is using the scraps of what you just heat embossed. So use that scrap piece to die cut out the sentiment two more times at least to help build or stack that sentiment. This is going to add dimension behind the sentiment and also gives it a little bit of stability. You could still use foam squares if you prefer, but sometimes this is just a lot easier and I feel better because I'm using up the rest of that scrap cardstock. I also add the liquid glue to both pieces right away, and then I can just pick up my top piece and pick them up one by one. And that's just another quick way to stack your die cuts. I love to splatter my backgrounds, so I am going to take my panel over to my splat box, and I have a little bit of a white acrylic speckle that I mixed with a drop or two of water and added just a few white splatters to my background. I already prepared an A2 size side folding card base, so I am going to add some tape runner to the top of that, kind of stand it up, and then take another piece of white cardstock and put that over the top. That white cardstock panel matches the color of white, so it's the same white cardstock that I use for my bunny. My cardstock bases are usually a heavier cardstock, and that white shade might vary a little bit. My next fast hack is going to be rolling up a piece of low tack tape and placing it inside of my card base so it keeps my panel closed. And then the next hack I have is to secure that down into my Misty. So again, with that low tack tape. Now, what I'm using my Misty for is the grid lines that I have on that mouse pad or that mat that I have. That's going to assist me when I'm lining up my card panel. I added foam tape to the back of my stencil panel, and then I am using those grid lines and I'm still eyeballing it, but having those lines there visually helps me make sure I have an even margin around the edge of my panel. Since I already have a piece of white cardstock behind my bunny, I'm not going to pop it up any further. So I'm adding liquid glue to the back and I'm going to place that on the front of my card front using my tweezers. And the same thing with my sentiment. So you can see where the sentiment, I'm using the tweezers. It keeps my hands out of the way so I can really focus on centering that. Now, remember in the beginning, I had mentioned there is a die to cut out the centers of the flowers, but my last hack that I have for you is digging out some enamel dots and using those for your centers. It's also a great way to use those embellishments that we've been hoarding in our stash. I finished it off with a little bit of glossy accents over the nose and at the pink cheeks. And that is today's card. I hope these fast card making hacks help simplify your process and make crafting feel a little more relaxed and a lot more fun. Sometimes it's not about working faster, it's about working smarter so we can spend more time enjoying that creative part. Thank you all so much for spending time with me today.